If you walk along a line of bikes today, you'll probably see most major manufacturers represented. And if you're looking for the Italians, there's bound to be one or two Ducatis on show. But 20 years ago, flying the flag for Italy wasn't Ducati, it was Laverda. Now, Laverdas to me were always the ones that I could never afford. A kind of Italian Exotica with big engines and big price tags to match. But that's not quite the case anymore. Here's Charlie Jagger, my Laverda expert from Cobb & Jagger here in Yorkshire. Now, Charlie, Laverda, they've been reborn, have they? They've sort of ceased to exist now they're back?
That's correct, Paul, yes. In the late 80s, Laverda did close down due to economic problems. The factory's recently been purchased by Mr. Tognon, who is an absolute Laverda fanatic. He intends to put Laverda back on the map where they were in the 70s, and he will spare no expense to do that. He's recruited we've been recently, as you say, to the Laverda factory. The people who he has working for him are just the top-notch people out of Italy. He's recruited people from Ferrari, Lamborghini, from other motorcycle manufacturers, Moto Guzzi, and as I say, his intention is to put Laverda firmly back on the map as a specialist sports thoroughbred Italian motorcycle.
Excellent. Well, you've convinced me already. But I mean, you say he's not sparing anything. He's got everyone that he needs. He's got all the expertise there. But they're not extremely expensive, are they? They're not extortionate.
No, they're not. Laverdas will never ever compete with Japanese bikes in a volume production like Honda or Suzuki or Yamaha, but they're not as expensive in pro rata to what they used to be in the 70s. A bike like this is the top of the range 668. And this costs just under £8,000, which does compare very well for the specification of the bike compared to mainstream Japanese bikes.
Well, it does, because you've got to be paying £9,000, haven't you, for a top Jap?
Oh yes,
days, you know.
yes.
So a bit of an Italian Exotica in your garage for...
Yes, that's right, yeah.
For £8,000.
Yeah, very much the Ferrari of motorcycles. It has all the best parts that the Italians can offer come as standard on all Laverdas.
Right, smashing. Well, I noticed the keys are in here.
Yeah.
Where did you say that factory was again?
Just near Venice, but why do you...
Well, I just wondered. I think I'll just go and see if I can catch a ferry. Well, it's pretty obvious exactly what this is. The badge on the side says it all. 668 cc's, parallel twin engine, double overhead camshaft, and it's air oil cooled. And this frame, you may have noticed, looks very trick. It's actually designed by a guy called Nico Backer, who's very famous for designing frames in race bikes. The whole thing about the Laverda is it's full of the latest technology, the latest tricky bits. To the front, you've got upside down forks, white power suspension, very effective, and Brembo 4-pot calipers, and you can stand this thing on its nose, no problem at all. The back, white power suspension again, single monoshock, and very observant people will have noticed that there ain't no hole in the petrol tank. So where does the fuel go? Well, in case you didn't know, like I didn't, it goes in here. The petrol cap filler under the little pillion pad. And one of the best looking Italian rear ends I've ever seen. So what's a 668 like to ride? Well, it's the same as any parallel twin engine really. As soon as you fire it up, you're instantly reminded that you are on a twin cylinder machine. It feels rough, it feels lumpy, and well, it just doesn't quite feel right at the bottom end of the revs. It comes with a 6-speed gearbox, and with that you get at least 5 or 6 different neutral positions, absolutely free of charge. A bit of a pain, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. But this isn't designed for like 40-mile-an-hour town work. Really, it should be on the open road. It's a performance type machine. And above 5,000 revs, everything smooths out, and it really is as good as anything else.